with their top three. But anyways, we will call the meeting to order. It is 8:03 on Friday, May 5th. This is the advisory group for the coordinated homeless response for Coos County, Coos Bay, and North Bend. And we can do roll call. We can start on mine, I guess. Stephanie?
Yes, Stephanie Kilmer. I'm the alternate for Coos Bay City Council.
Good morning.
And it looks like we have an attendee from, I guess, the public of sorts, but Sarah?
Yes, I'm here just to listen and gain knowledge. Sarah Stevens.
Good morning.
Thank you. Nicole Rutherford, City of Coos Bay.
Andrew Brenner, Director of First Response for Homelessness.
All right, so that's it. As far as attendance, so the goal kind of today, first item on the agenda was looking at our strategic plan. I was hoping we could perhaps start reviewing that so we can kind of, each of us maybe deem our top three. What do we think we can start pushing forward? We are rapidly on to almost year 2, so it would be great to get some forward momentum. Being that no one's here, we'll make that as a task item for this next week. We'll send out a follow-up email to the team and have everybody start looking at that. Unless there's any questions, I'm gonna move to item 3, which is our ongoing business. Again, without a lot of folks here, it's hard to kind of dive into that. I believe the county is still working on getting financial statements set up for this group. We also are kind of still waiting on the state reporting requirements, what that looks like, if each pilot's going to follow the standards that are set up in the ORS, which is pretty ominous as far as sending 1 million emails out to all the legislatures, but hopefully LLC will help with that as far as pulling it together as one global response. And I guess the other thing we could talk about, and ongoing, it's not on here, but we do have a panel, and Andrew can maybe talk about a little bit next week, scheduled with the faith-based community. They're gonna meet here.
Yeah, it's gonna be on May 11th, and I've reached out to all the churches in Coos County and emailed them a lot of responses back that'll be attending the meeting. It will be an informational meeting, with first having a different panel of different people that work within our community. For example, Joshua Haynes from the Gospel Mission will be speaking, Melinda Torres from the ARC, Scott Cooper from the AYA, Matt from Coos and Curry Housing Authority, Captain David Kaufman from the Salvation Army. Since Captain Kaufman has joined our community, a lot of movement has been happening over at Salvation Army, and it's been really good. And so he'll have a report. Jesse Charlesford from Habitat for Humanity will be there to speak. Tara Johnson will be via Zoom. Melanie Matesky from my tribe will be speaking and talking about the emergency program that they've been helping out with the homeless. Andrea Gross will be from Bay Area First Step, talking about the homeless. And then also Officer Coleman from Coos Bay, and we have a new resource officer for North Bend. His name is Nick White, and he will be speaking. From the Behavioral Health Director, from Advanced Health, or Coos Health and Wellness, David Giles will be there, and a few others that I'm working on. So we'll have a great panel, and we should have a great attendance, and everybody's looking forward to it.
Okay. I don't know, anything else on our agenda other than walking into the director's report if you wanted to
Yeah.
share what's been
So that was a little
happening.
bit I was gonna talk about there, and then also I was gonna share what happened this week. I met and spoke with at the Coos and Curry Community Mental Health meeting this week and discussed what our plan is and strategic plan. That was well attended. I've been working on our faith-based meeting for this upcoming Thursday. And I've also met with Robert Moore, one of our stakeholders, to discuss some ideas of what we can look forward to and what our things are needed right now. He is a huge asset, and he is one person that I would consider for sure to be a committee member regarding one of our stakeholders to make movement for this. He has a lot of experience, as all you may know, that he's been really easy to work with. And I've been working with the Salvation Army too, and this is not, well, they're working on actually looking at a Mormon center for their property there on Empire. So I think that would be huge, and especially still that we're going through the month of May, we're still having cold weather. I think it'd be a huge asset to look at for the community wide. Also met with a few of the pastors and discussed different projects. I met with them and discussed there at National Day of Prayer that they had the Coos Bay Boardwalk, and they're very excited to get more knowledgeable of what's going on within our community and what our community needs. So that's kind of a little bit of wrap up of what I had this week. Oh, and also discuss, I do have an office. It's at the Newmark Center. Everything's going very well there. And now I do have access to go on our website and add and edit different things to keep everybody up to date, including our meetings today and for the future. And I want to thank Nicole and Christine for their guidance on that as well. And we'll be working on a little bit after this meeting too.
Yeah, so I think the plan is to get the website updated with some of the documents that we have already. There are a few things out there, but we want to just keep loading that up with everything that we have. So, for the most part, it's a place for the community to go to, so. That's kind of it, unless we wanna, the three of us wanna chat about the strategic plan a little bit. Or we can get back some time in our day and have that tasked for us for this next week.
I am actually driving, so I am not looking at anything except the road.
That's fair. I appreciate you connecting even
Yes,
though you had
most
another
definitely.
thing going, so. We'll have to somehow encourage everybody to try and make this happen on Fridays at 8 a.m., which was the time frame everybody suggested would work. So it may be that we have to find a different time, so. If that's it, then our next meeting is scheduled for next Friday. Still available via Zoom, same link.
Can we check and see? North Bend hasn't been present. I know that David is on.
So David's on.
Check and see why Jessica's not attending.
She had sent me a text, said she had a double booked herself, and she asked if our meeting would be recorded. And I said it would be, and I will let the group know that you.
Yeah, so we can probably put these recordings out on the website too. I mean, the reality is there's nobody here, we're not really doing anything, so it's, we gotta get to the point where at least one from each entity shows up. And it may be that we have to go back to those entities and say, maybe there's somebody who's a better choice, and not because they have better skills, but just because their availability is a little bit more compatible, so. Anyways, unless there's something else, I think we could probably adjourn.
Thank you for coming. Thank you,
Alright.
Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great Friday.